Hey, welcome to the Naked Ape Studios. I'm Richard, I'm your host, and I'm also the owner and CEO of Naked Ape Productions. So the studio's in my basement in my home, so I wanted to take you for a quick tour around the studio and just show you kind of what we all see and what you guys see, and give you a little closer look at some of the things that we have. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so let's start looking over here. So this is a shot that we see as a widescreen shot when we are doing shows. We have two chairs on the set. You see there's a bit of a hole in the center. We are going to be filling that in with another bookshelf and a monitor back there. Over here we have the horror corner. You can see that we've got two microphones. One is on this side, and of course one is on this side, and they're on articulating arms, so we can just kind of move them out of the way. This is the horror corner. You can see that we've got some really cool stuff. A record that was made by one of our friends. Then we have Jason Voorhees. I'm not sure who this gal is, but behind here we have Lance Henriksen's book, and then of course Darth Vader and the Alien 3D poster. Below that we have a first aid kit for zombies, so that's kind of cool, and just a little area for some things that we may need during the show, like tissues, because Jason has a bad tendency to have to blow his nose all the time, so we need to have tissues on the set. And below that is just some stuff that you'll never see in frame, some extra stands, that kind of stuff. And above everything else is of course the Jason Voorhees mask, which is a replica of the one worn by Rick Sternbach, or not Rick Sternbach, pardon me, by Richard Brooker in Friday the 13th Part 3. The backdrop that you see here is an all fabric backdrop that kind of surrounds our studio, and then we've got some acoustic foam that we've stuck to it, and in front of that of course is a PVC frame that we built that still has to be painted, so we're still in construction here. Now if we go over to this side, you can see this is our comic book and sci-fi corner. I'm just going to move Jason's chair out of the way. And over here we've got some DVDs that we were looking at for a movie review that we were doing on Popcorn Lobby. We have a picture of Neelix there, which is signed to us, a comic book for the new Teen Titans, which was signed by George Perez, the artist who did that book. And then we have Robert Picardo's picture over there. We have a Master Chief, and one of my favorite things that Jason gave me for my birthday last year, which was a Lady Death statue. Below that, of course, we have a Tribble, a couple of bottles of Vulcan beer, and our Star Trek props. And then we've got some Pez down on the bottom that we just kind of keep out of frame. As we move, I'll just give you an idea. We use shop lights with homemade gels that we've done down here in the basement. One red, one blue. And there's our banner, which is kind of nice. Jason and I on there. We move over here. This was a picture that was given to us by a gal who works for Toys R Us. This is kind of our extra shelf. You can see we've got some other goodies up there, photograph that I took, and some model kits and Green Lantern rings and textbooks and all kinds of other goodies down there. And this is just stuff we have to get rid of. Now this is how Jason sees my shot. So when I'm doing my stuff, Jason kind of sees all this, but you guys don't. We'll get over to that in just a sec. Over here we have my daily entertainment, and Jason's table that he needs for when he has his laptop here and he's trying to look up stuff. So right here we have a television. It's an older television, but it works, and then we have a little Western digital box hooked up to it, so I can turn on Netflix during the day or whatever I like for some background noise. We have a fridge, coffee maker, some coffee cups, a kettle. We also have a microwave, an old an old computer case over there. Of course, I've got to clean up this mess. It's a little bit of a mess right now. Now we'll start here. This laptop here is an HP laptop that I use for doing some of the things that we need to do, whether it's looking up web pages or monitoring the show to see if the feed is going through fine. That's kind of what we do. That's what I use that for. And we move forward, and we have, well, a tape measure. Well, you always got to measure stuff. So this Acer netbook here we use for doing the chat room. We monitor the chat room over there. And this is another laptop that we have that we use for Linux. Sometimes we'll monitor chat rooms, sometimes I'll bring in sound effects. It all depends. Here's our audio rack. Our audio rack contains a mixer by Behringer. It's a Xenyx X1622 USB. Below that we have a Furman power conditioner. We have a DBX unit, which is the 166XL. Dual channel compressor limiter gate, and below that of course we have our headphone amp, which is obscured right now by some stuff that I have to get off my desk. This over here is our streaming computer. It's an i7 3770K with 16 gigs of RAM. It functions very well. It does everything that we need. Above that we have a 24-inch monitor. My microphone is right here. All the mics that we use in the studio are Audio-Technica AT2005 USB microphones. The beauty of these microphones is that they also not only are USB powered, but they also are XLR powered as well. So there's that USB connection right there. And you can adjust volume on them. You can plug your headphones into these. It's really kind of nice. They're very handy. We use them when we're out in the field as well. There we have an iPad. Sometimes I'll bring in sounds off the iPad. Back here we just have another microphone that we've got set up that we were testing out earlier today. Of course, coffee cups. But this is our rack mount computer. This is our rendering machine. This is an i7 920. It's an older unit, but it has 12 gigs RAM. This unit right here we use with that monitor up there to gather Skype calls, and we run them through the board, so they can't see us, but we can certainly see them, and we can bring in their video via Skype. I also use it for other things as well. Sometimes when I'm doing a music show I do that. Of course, there's Adamar, our mascot, who was recently at Spock Days. This monitor here is connected to the rack mount computer. We use that monitor to do all of our editing and rendering and that kind of stuff. This monitor here, both these monitors, these LGs, are 22-inch monitors, and this monitor there is connected to this computer, which is a Core 2 Duo, or Core 2 Quad, I'm sorry, with 4 gigs of RAM, and it does exactly what we need. Down on the desk we have our phone and our cell phones and all the little things that we need. I'm going to take you through now and just kind of give you an idea. We have some acoustic foam up here. We're going to talk about the cameras that we use. My camera is a Microsoft Cinema Cam, which does 720p on the video side, but we'll do 1080 on a photographic side. So it's kind of weird that way. And then the other two cameras that we use, you can see we have two cameras hooked up. This camera here is an old ZR90, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Canon, and it is an old, ZR960. So it works really well. We use it for one of the shots, and then we put it on this tree, and we use this camera which is again another Canon. This particular Canon is the Vixia HFR20 HD. You can see that we have it hooked up through HDMI right here, and that runs out to the computer over there. So that pretty much takes care of all that. So all of these cameras, all three of these cameras, are connected to our streaming box, which is over here, and connected through HDMI and component on the back of the unit, and I've showed this before in previous videos. We have the HDMI, and then we have our component down here, and then of course we have our other cameras and so on connected. So that is, oh, I should probably show you this. We have a variety of drives hooked up. We also have another one down underneath there. That's all work in conjunction. If we go over to where we've got some of the other stuff, we have over here our NAS and all of our other goodies, and then we have our printer here, which is not a bad little printer, and of course there's Boba Fett. So that pretty much takes care of everything here in the studio. I'm glad you came along with us, and if you have any questions, you can by all means let us know. Okay, reach me at richard@nakedapeprod.com. You can also drop us an email to info@nakedapeprod.com, and go and check out our shows. We have Between the Pages. We also do Popcorn Lobby, and you can find those shows. They stream live on the internet from our website at nakedapeprod.com. From Naked Ape Productions, I'm Richard. Thanks for joining me.